Podcasting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree? All right. And that's my intro.
That's another intro. Who is that?
That's Werner Herzog. Why are we talking about Werner Herzog?
I think it's Werner Herzog.
Sorry.
Yeah. We're talking about him because he actually has an appearance of some sort in this TV show.
And what is this TV show?
This TV show is The Mandalorian. The Disney, I think it's like the first Disney Plus original show.
Yeah, it's the Disney Plus exclusive.
Yes, and we're extremely excited to watch it. We are already branching into TV. I think we're going to do movies at first, before and after the movies. We already changed the name of the podcast, kind of annoying. But we couldn't really resist because it's supposed to be pretty cinematic.
And there's a lot of hype surrounding Disney Plus as
A lot of hype surrounding Disney Plus. We thought we'd hop right on that.
Exactly.
Try to milk
Ride
some
that gravy
views.
train.
Yeah. But just like the previous two things, I know almost nothing about this entire thing.
I just watched the first trailer. There's not much dialogue minus that one line, so it was easy to pull for the intro. But all right, let's get into it. So like Anthony mentioned, this is before and after the movies / TV shows. This is episode 3.
Yep, where we try to predict what's going to happen and have a little bit of a discussion around a particular movie or TV series.
So today we're doing The Mandalorian. We're going to be doing episode 1.
Episode 1 and 2.
And 2 just dropped very recently.
Yeah, I thought they were doing one episode a week, but it turns out they're doing, I think it's like one every 4 days.
Oh, perfect.
So we thought we'd just hop on both, and it's kind of like a movie.
So The Mandalorian, written by Disney's golden boy, Jon Favreau.
Yeah, is it written by him?
Yeah, that's why I had to look that up last night. So written by Jon Favreau. He's also done for them, Iron Man.
Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, yikes.
Cowboys and Aliens, not for Disney.
He did Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah,
And he did Lion King.
And he was also at one point doing a movie called Magic Kingdom. I don't know if you heard about this.
Oh.
Where it was kind of like a Night at the Museum thing where all the things in the Magic Kingdom and Disney World came alive at night, and that project fell through.
Probably after Tomorrowland.
Yeah, I actually think it was exactly that.
All right. For our directors for this, just highlighted some. Couple episodes done by none other than Bryce Dallas Howard.
Right.
One episode done by Taika Waititi.
The pilot's Jon Favreau, right?
I don't think so. I didn't want to look into who directed what.
Okay.
I just looked at directors in general. I didn't see his name listed, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, cool. Well, I have a few topics I'd like to just run through with you here. First of all, like, what kind of level of Star Wars fanatic would you say you are?
I mean, I've never gone into the extended universe, the comics or anything, but I crush the movies like no other. So I'll probably
Very
like
you type of movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not in an offensive way. Just,
No. Who doesn't love Star Wars movies? So I'd say I'm like an 8 out of 10 maybe.
Right.
Very excited for this.
Yeah. I think this is really important for Star Wars because Disney obviously have just dominated Marvel since they took that over, and it's just been W after W. The Star Wars franchise has not been the same way.
No, yeah, we've a little stumbled out of the gate a bit.
I think they thought they would acquire Lucasfilm and it would just be like banger after banger, but people haven't really been loving the past few projects, myself included.
No, yeah, and that's where they had to pump the brakes after Last Jedi and Solo.
Yeah, Solo.
I did not like Solo.
Solo was a poor film.
I did not like Solo.
But it was better than Last Jedi, in my opinion, which I thought was the worst Star Wars movie ever made.
I agree. I'm not a big Last Jedi fan, but
Yeah.
we'll get into that.
That's a whole other can of worms.
That's for December's episode.
Yeah.
So just to get back to this, starring Pedro Pascal of Game of Thrones fame and Kingsman, Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
Yeah, I just saw his name on the cast list.
So down for some Nick Nolte.
And Werner Herzog. So Packer, as always, every episode I have some fast questions.
Fast questions? All right, hit me with fast questions. I got some fast questions for you as well.
Question number 1. Does the main character, I don't know if his name is the Mandalorian, take off his helmet or speak?
I think he speaks because I think I remember him speaking in the trailer.
He doesn't speak in the trailer, so.
Well, what do I know?
All right.
I would say he takes off his helmet in season 2.
In season 2. We gotta wait for that one.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Will we get a major Star Wars cameo? Is Jar Jar gonna appear?
No Jar Jar. Oh, I don't think we'll see any. I think we might see like younger versions or older versions of characters, but I don't think we're gonna see like an Obi-Wan or anyone like that.
Fair enough. Last fast question.
Okay.
Are we gonna get some lightsabers?
I have that one written down for you as well.
Remember, this is first 2 episodes.
This is first 2 episodes. Yes.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like we might as well.
I think Star Wars always says like, "Oh, we're moving away from the Jedi thing," but they just can't.
They can't.
They know
They
it's
can't.
a cash cow, and it's coming.
Maybe it's just like a.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I got some fast question for you as well.
All right, go for it.
Some of it's actually a bit of trivia mixed into this as well.
All right.
You've already kind of answered this one, but name one actor from this series.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Who directed the pilot?
I don't know. Is it Jon Favreau?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up after.
Okay.
Favorite Star Wars movie?
Rogue One.
Really?
I really liked it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. If you were to make a Star Wars movie, who would you focus on?
Kenobi, obviously.
You do that'd be
I
the Joe
did
Vision.
the Obi-Wan movie. Yeah.
Okay. How many seasons of this show will there be?
Fuck. I think they're gonna do 4. 4 seasons. Yeah.
You think they're gonna limp through the fourth one?
Yeah.
Do you think this show is gonna have like a lasting cultural impact and something that's gonna go down as like a really well received thing, or
That's
is
a
it just
great question. Or is it just gonna go by the wayside?
yeah, like are Disney just giving us this to like get us on Disney Plus?
I think it's actually I think it's the latter. I don't think we're gonna be having our like Star Wars discussion 5 years from now and be like, oh, remember that the Mandalorian was the best thing to come out of Star
Yeah.
Wars. It'd be like, oh yeah, and there's the Mandalorian. That
Yeah,
was
okay.
all right.
Yeah, it's interesting because since I knew we were gonna do this episode, I've stayed away really well from I don't know if this has been well received at
Yeah,
all.
I have no idea.
But I'm really worried that the first episode's going to be amazing, and then you're going to see like a big steep decline in sort of cinematic like value and big sets. But maybe I'm
Do you know
wrong.
what their budget was for this?
I have no idea. I want to say like probably like 80 million an episode or something. Like it must be pretty high.
It's got to be. They must be so much. They have to put so much money.
And
into
like
this.
I've heard a while ago there's like a decent number of practical effects, and they haven't just gone like all
Okay,
CGI,
nice.
and that stuff adds up as well.
So, as with every episode, our first segment here, Anthony, paint me that opening scene.
That opening scene.
Are we getting a title crawl?
Might as well. No title crawl.
Yeah, I don't think
I think
so.
they'll just do like a and we're like there.
Yeah, all right.
I painted that opening scene. I think we're gonna get this bounty hunter as a kid again. I think we're gonna get that angle. And I think this is gonna be a very typical sort of overarching plot. I think we're gonna have a revenge story based on like one of his family members that was like taken away from him. Maybe he's not like a kid. Maybe he's living a quiet life and his daughter is killed or something.
Oh my God, I have that
but
written down.
I do think this is a family motivated revenge saga.
Okay, my opening scene's a little bit different, and it's Pedro Pascal or whoever is going down into a now dead Sarlacc pit,
Oh.
and he finds Boba Fett's armor. He's like some treasure hunter. And he's like, "This is what we've been looking for."
Oh, well, this is the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So we see him helmetless first
Yeah,
scene.
he like dives into the Sarlacc pit.
It's just so much better than mine. I really hope you're right.
I really prepped for that one. That was my hook.
Okay, so my next question for you is, where do you think this movie is set in the Star Wars canon?
Oh, you're just singing my tune right
Yeah.
now. So I have written down here. I mean, like it's gonna take place, I think, after episodes 6.
Yeah, so
After Return of the Jedi.
before Force Awakens.
Before Force Awakens, exactly. And it's
Force
just-
Awakens.
Exactly. And it's kind of like what I have written here is I'm hoping for this like grounded single planet setting, maybe even like really small scale.
Yeah.
And we kind of get a look into that Star Wars universe that we haven't really seen. You know, we've always seen like this planet hopping, universe
Yeah.
hopping. I want this single scale, kind of like the seedy underbelly.
Yeah, because I think I remember seeing some like desert aesthetic. So maybe we start on like Tatooine. But
I hope it's a different.
I want to
hope
see
it's-
like some grungy cities. I'm
Yeah.
down for some like city planet spanning, just not over the top like you say.
Yeah. No, like light speed travel.
Yeah, and also like this timeline is so like barely explored. Like I think in between 3 and 4 is just done to death. I don't know why everyone involved with Star Wars loves that period. Like only so much could happen in 3 years. Like why is there so much? And I think this will nicely tie into maybe some other things. Like maybe we'll see some characters that we've met in like 7, 8, 9.
Maybe we'll get Rey's parents or something.
Yeah, Rey's parents is possible. Some tie-ins to Captain Phasma, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some of that. And
Make
then
her a little more menacing.
what's that little like yellow wrinkly character?
Maz?
Maz. Yeah, I think we might see some Maz for sure.
Yeah.
The characters don't live with you in your heart like the ones from the original trilogy.
I have this there now. Do you think we'll get a line that, you know, they say like, oh, Django was too busy replicating himself?
No.
All right.
That's a horrible line. No, that's not in there.
I really hope it's in there.
I think we might get, I have here, hot female Sith antagonist as like
Okay, yeah.
overriding villain.
Yeah. But our main character is also like he's an anti-hero, I'd say. That's what I have here.
Yeah, I think he's sort of like a Sawyer from Lost type.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I have here, he's like this badass who does anything for a paycheck. And like what you said, he gets this mysterious job where it's like he's got to murder this mother protecting her daughter, single parent.
Like a dirty job, like a job he doesn't
Exactly.
want to do.
Yeah. And then now it reminds him of his lost daughter. That's what I have written here. And now he's got to break bounty hunter code to save them. He's on the run.
I really hope it's not another get stuck escorting a special child.
Oh, like fucking transporter.
A really
too.
quiet, like, little girl.
Yeah, but she's got secret powers.
She's got gifts.
She's Jedi.
Yeah, she's a Jedi.
She's Jedi.
And then they like bond over some old game. Like I'm done with that. It's a great like partnership for any movie or TV show, but we've seen so much of it lately. I just want a little break from that.
I agree. Yeah, but I think that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah. I think his motives will come across very selfish at first, and then as the show goes on, we realize that he's got like real trauma in his life. We could just be so off. I don't even know anything about this guy.
Nothing. Yeah, I don't have no
Do
idea.
you think
what to expect.
are we gonna visit our audience in between 1 and 2, or are we just gonna blast through 1 and 2 and then come back?
I think it might be fun to visit 1 and 2. We'll see how we feel.
Yeah.
We might want to just power through. We might not want to take a break. Like, fuck, we want to consume every bit of this. Maybe we'll be here after episode 9, right?
Yeah. Do you know how many episodes there is gonna be?
9? I don't know.
Is it 9?
I don't know.
I'm excited to watch this, man.
I'm really excited.
Will we see a Jedi appearance in the first 2 episodes?
No appearance, but I imagine we'll get a reference.
Right.
Be like, that's Obi-Wan's cave or something like that. Okay, here's a question for you. Do you think we'll get a tie-in because we know we're getting a Kenobi show?
Yeah, that's what I've really been building up to.
Do you think we're going to get a tie-in to that?
Again, it depends. If it's in between 3 and 4, then yes. I don't see why they wouldn't. Mm-hmm. They're just going to keep looking at what they did with Marvel and realize that that's the way to go.
Yeah.
And they have the key to doing it right, which is to take the time with the characters, build up their own stories first. Mm-hmm. Then you can slowly start to weave in other characters. If episode 1 of this is all universe building, I'm going to be concerned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want it to be very character focused.
Yeah, because then once we do meet these other characters, the Obi-Wan series, all the other stuff they've probably got planning, then we can start to see these characters bleed into what will be like a big
so do you think
event.
Yeah, dude, we'd get a Mandalorian Obi-Wan crossover hopefully.
Yeah.
Season 3 would be a shared season 3 or
that'd be really
something.
cool.
That'd be awesome.
What kind of darkness level are you expecting? Do you think we might get some real violence?
Written down too. Yeah. My question was like, are we gonna get some deaths? And trailer 1 leads us to believe that, I think we're gonna break away from that kind of harder PG and kind of go to that
PG-13 realm.
PG-13. I would like to see some blood and gore. I think that'd be good for the series.
Yeah.
I think they should diversify. Star Wars is such a big brand. Like, one could argue, do you think Star Wars is a bigger brand than Marvel?
I think you asked me that question 5 years ago. I say yes.
Exactly, right?
But not any. It needs I've got here, Disney needs a W. It needs a Star Wars W.
It needs a Star Wars W, yeah.
And maybe I was going to say, like, the whole TV direction and these smaller characters could be the way out for Disney. Because the movies seem to have so much pressure on them. And people are so divisive. Whereas when it's TV, I think people are a little bit less invested. And people might just sit back and be like, hey, this is actually really good. Whereas when you go and see episode 8, that pressure of that label, knowing that it's such a finite franchise, everyone has to be like this magnum opus.
Exactly, I have that written. So they have a chance to expand the Star Wars universe without having the pressure of being one of the trilogies, so to say. So, they're allowed to try something else. They don't have to have that, like I said before, like they don't have to be saving the universe.
Yeah.
There's not so much pressure of...
And it doesn't have to be tied into this overarching recurring theme of family and rise and fall.
They can break
everyone
away from
has to be connected. It's either a father or a daughter or something, where this just really... Even Rogue One kind of fell into that because they're still like a byproduct of the main franchise's activity. Whereas I hope this is just as far away from all that as possible.
Exactly. They've been milking the original trilogy, but they haven't had a chance to really dive out of that. And I think these TV shows, this and Kenobi less so, but this will give them a good chance to, maybe from this we can birth a different, like, Rian Johnson was going to do a different Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, yay.
Before, but that got canned, I think.
I think it's still going. The Game of Thrones guys aren't doing it anymore.
No, they absolutely can.
Yeah. I got a few more predictions, if we could just get into this. I think episode 2 will end with our protagonist being beaten very badly.
Oh yeah, like he's in trouble, and then episode 3 will introduce Nick Nolte's character to kind of guide him back to health.
Yeah, I think we need some really well choreographed action, like kind of Daredevil kind of style.
I hope they don't do the whole classic hallway fight. I
Yeah.
want to see some more gunplay.
Yeah, gunplay and like weaving in and out of hallways and yeah, just exciting action.
Chase sequence. I think we're gonna get a lot of chase sequences.
Yeah, and another thing that the movies don't really get to touch on as much is like it's a huge advantage of TV is the cliffhanger model. It's like I want each episode of this to be ending with like, oh god, I want to watch the next
Yeah, I
episode.
want to be rushing to turn on the next episode for sure.
Yeah, because movies can have cliffhangers as well, but they still have a bit more finality to them. Like that story's completed, and now you just want to know what happens. Where this can just leave a story unfinished.
All right, just the one thing I wanted to touch on here is with the advent of Disney Plus, we are introducing yet another streaming platform.
Are we?
So this joins the ranks of.
Oh, I thought you said we're hopping on another streaming platform.
No,
we've
I'm
been
saying,
contacted by Disney,
I'm
and
saying-
we're gonna be doing all the Mandalorian recaps
So stay tuned for the post-episode Mandalorian.
on
It's called Behind the Mask
Yeah.
with Elman and Anthony.
Disney Plus original.
No, but I'm saying we have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Crave. Now Apple's got one.
Yeah, Apple Plus as
Apple
well.
Plus, great.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this?
It's getting to the point for me is like a young 20-something trying to make it in this city. I'm
Yeah.
like, how many streaming platforms am I gonna have in my monthly budget?
Exactly. You gotta pick. Okay, I'll do. February's a Netflix month.
Yeah,
but January
exactly.
it's a Disney Plus month.
I do think Disney Plus for me anyway will be like great for the year, and I think that's why they've made it so cheap because I think they want everyone to hop on.
Yeah.
I think I'll like be kind of sick of all the regular stuff by then
Yeah.
because I'll probably work through the library. I'm done with songs for a little bit. Like I watched Frozen last night. I watched Hercules today,
Oh my
and I'm
God.
already getting kind of sick of it. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. It's been great to like revisit them all, but I think Disney Plus is a bit more of like a novelty than the rest.
Yeah, I would agree. I was looking at their like release date shows, and it's just all stuff from like Family Channel back in
Yeah.
the day, like Lizzie McGuire.
And it'll
but
be
it's just-
fun
it's
to
just
watch a
reruns.
few back, and
Yeah.
The Simpsons is huge.
But
And all
even
the
then,
Fox
like-
stuff will be good, and we'll see how the Marvel TV shows do. But
Yeah,
like you
like-
say, you might end up just rotating a month and get this for the month and get
Yeah,
that.
because I think Disney Plus is only like $6.99 for the month.
$6.99.
So get that for WandaVision, and then
Yeah, well, I actually got a year.
Oh, you already got it?
It's a bit cheaper if you do a full year.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll transfer you half.
yeah. You probably won't. I also bought the mics. Fun fact.
We'll cut that part out.
You know what? Let's not cut it. So let's go ahead and watch. Let's watch episode 1, and then if we want to hop on and give some thoughts, we can do that.
For sure.
Or if not, we'll just blast through the first 2.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna make some popcorn, and you know what's nice about doing this? We can watch in the comfort of our own home. We don't have to go out
That
to a
is
movie,
nice.
come back.
Thank you, Disney Plus.
Yeah. Fuck you, Martin Scorsese,
Yeah, he'll be joining us late November for 3.5 hours.
for the theme park films, as he calls them.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
All right, let's go. Mandalorian, episode 1. Okay, so that's episode 1, Down the Hatchet. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, initial thoughts?
A little bit underwhelmed. I thought it was just okay. I mean,
It had a slight vibe of like Star Wars student short film, but like a little bit higher budget.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, you could definitely tell the budget wasn't there compared to the
No.
movies. But I mean, that's expected. But yeah, I like what you say about student film. Like, I don't know. It just
Even the initial bounty that he's taking in, it looked like a human in Star Wars makeup.
yeah,
He
and
didn't
like
look
he
ready.
had no accent. He just talked like a normal person. It was so strange.
Yeah. And the character development, obviously I don't expect that much in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't love the protagonist.
No, and by the sounds of it, I don't think he will be taking his helmet off.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
I bet you there's gonna be a scene later in the season where he gets captured and they remove the helmet.
Yeah.
And he's all scarred and disfigured or something. I can see that.
I think there's definitely potential, and I liked the little cliffhanger. We were talking about how they should try and implement like a
Yeah.
cliffhanger system, and we kind of learned that this same species as Yoda is his like big bounty.
The one thing I didn't like, and maybe it's because it's the pilot, but we were just following one character throughout. So
I thought you said you wanted that.
no, but I mean, I would like some like side plots,
Right.
some converging. You know,
Like he really did have all the screen time.
he had all the screen time, and like they kind of like there was like time jumps. We don't know how long. Like the whole fucking glurb
I'm
training.
confused. And like the thing I didn't like the most is like Werner Herzog's character who gives him the bounty makes this job sound like it's this big ordeal, and it was like so dangerous that they can't even. But he finds the bounty in like 2 seconds. He just goes to the planet, meets a random guy, rides a blorb.
A glorb?
I don't know.
Glorb.
The CGI on those were horrendous.
Like 2006 video game level.
Yeah, like the weird bounce mechanics that just like don't look good.
What'd you think of Nick Nolte's character?
Poor.
You think they got him in for mocap?
Not a chance. They're just putting his name on it.
They're just, fucking give him to say a few lines, give him a bottle of alcohol at the end of the day.
And I didn't understand like why he wanted to help him, because he's like, I'll take you to this place because it's not safe anymore.
Yeah, he said he wanted peace to the region, but it was weak. It was weak.
I didn't enjoy the first episode.
Do you think Nick Nolte will be coming? Do you think the character will be coming back?
I think so. I think at the start of this, we'll be getting some help from him again.
Okay.
I thought that like atmospherically it was really good. Like the backdrops and the planets looked really cool and like cinematic, and the action was decent. There's like this droid, the bounty droid.
The droid was cool, but I'm not invested in it yet. So I was just watching those action scenes. I was kind of like, oh, it's like I'm watching, like you said, a student film. I didn't feel the stakes. You know, a Star Wars action sequence, you'd be like, you know, gripping.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what's gonna happen. This, so I was just like, oh,
ding, 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 little roll.
Yeah. It seemed very choreographed.
Yeah.
Not gritty enough.
And a bit slow moving.
Yeah. So rigid. He's in his armor. Fucking.
I did like, so his concept of money and his payment from, like, they give him a down payment and they melt that down and put it on his body armor.
Yeah, and they said any excess there'll be no donating towards the Mandalorian clan. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I missed that. So can you explain a little bit?
So they give him that down payment and he brings it to the
head of his clan.
The head of his clan, and they melt it down, and so he gets that shoulder plate.
Right.
But she says the excess will support, like, I think she said families or something along the lines. And he was like, oh yeah, I was once like that. That's when we got that flashback.
Wow, that just went completely over my
head.
head.
So I thought that was cool. Like he's donating a bit to
so is his goal to just build out like full body armor of this stuff? Is that like?
Well, I know, because before he's getting payment in standard credits.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It was just it felt like every scene was very little context leading up to it.
Yeah.
Expecting you to just kind of be in the moment.
I'm sure it will all come together.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they didn't release it all at once, because I would say if this was, since it's being released like episodic, it's kind of interesting that they left this on this first episode not knowing much. Like, I'm not really hooked to watch the next episode. If I had all of them available, I'd be going through this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would have released it all, but I know why they're doing it. It's because they want subscriber base for the month at least, right?
It was an odd pilot, but I didn't think it was like awful. I think I'm over exaggerating a bit, and there's only one episode. We're about to hop into episode 2. It was more about seeing Star Wars visuals than it was about an actual story.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have, like, I don't care about anyone.
There's like fan service. It was like, oh, those little wobbling robots you like.
I think we got Greedo. He was in the Carbonite.
Yeah. Oh, was that actually Greedo?
I don't know if it was a Greedo species. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely familiarized you with lots of the species right away.
Mm-hmm. And so they mentioned, just to get into the episode a bit, that they were looking for this 50-year-old, and you and I thought, what if it's Obi-Wan?
Oh yeah, instantly I was like, I wish I put that in my prediction.
Yeah,
it turns out that a baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Species
So
is
question for you: is it Yoda?
No. Okay. So he said pre-Empire at one line. I still don't know when this is set. I was trying to figure that out. No, he's like, oh, it's a nice ship. Pre-Empire.
Yeah. So that means Empire exists currently.
Or yeah. So either way, it can't be Yoda. Because the Yoda's old by this point.
Oh yeah, fuck. Fuck.
Wrong you were. But so wait, because he could be like, is it pre-Empire or Empire?
We should really look up when this takes place.
Should we do it now?
Yeah, I got my laptop out here.
Return of the Jedi is set in 4 ABY after the Battle of Yavin.
So it's in between 6 and 7.
Yeah, you're right. So 5 years after.
5 years after Return of the Jedi, and 20-something years before Force Awakens.
So it is post-Empire.
Post-Empire.
Yeah. So when he was like, "Oh, is your ship pre-Empire?" he could have said post-Empire. Or
No, because it's currently post-Empire.
yeah.
So, but he
But
said,
if the
"Is
ship
your
was
ship?"
new, he'd be like, "Oh, the ship's post-Empire."
Yes, if it was new, he would say that. Yeah.
Figured it out. So yeah, that does make me a little bit more interested than I would have been if this was 3-4. My interest right now would just be tanking.
No, yeah, now, yeah, because we're in this space that
We don't know anything
It didn't
about.
exist prior towards Force Awakens. You know what I mean?
It did.
Well, it did, but this in between, like now,
Because it's 9 years, right?
but now we know what happens in Force Awakens. We know how the universe is set up. So
Yeah,
can
we
kinda
know where
see-
we're going.
So now I want to say
The
we're gonna get,
resistance is building.
exactly. We're gonna get some First Order stuff.
Yeah,
That'd be- that'd
the
be
Knights
great.
of Ren, potentially.
They should get
'Cause
Kylo in there.
It's a thing we all care about, but none of us know anything about.
Hey, don't tell that to Rion.
All right, what do you think? Episode 2?
Yeah,
All right.
let's take a deep dive.
I'm
be
hoping
right
this
back.
is going to be good. Here we go.
And we're back.
Yeah.
2 episodes down of The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. We kind of talk about episode 1. You can break down episode 2, or you can give me series as a whole so far. Take your pick.
I've got some thoughts on episode 2.
Go ahead. Let's go with episode 2.
I'll start with the positives.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this time around the action was significantly improved.
Yeah, I think. Go
The
ahead.
opening scene, he takes down a couple of bounty hunters. That was really well done.
Mm-hmm,
And then there's this like pretty like movie level chase scene of a Jawa.
Yeah, the Jawa scene I was a little lukewarm on.
Yeah, I thought like their actual like the humor and stuff wasn't very good,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
did
yeah.
like the choreography of him hanging off the side and like
Mm.
having to be inventive. For a TV show, that's pretty good. I thought.
Yeah, and what did you think of the final action set piece there? With the
With the
creature.
I thought it was the thing from Attack of the Clones in the gladiator scene. It looked
Oh.
yeah, I think it might have been
related.
Yeah,
Same
like-
genus.
yeah. Yeah, so that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how easily this bounty hunter is losing every single encounter that he comes into.
Yeah, I don't
It's supposed
know.
to be the best in the parsec. Guess not.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. I did like more personality of the protagonist this time. He was very bland in the first episode. And this
Oh, really?
one, I thought he got like more frustrated when his like stuff wasn't working.
Okay, yeah. So
Um,
I kind of have something like that written down. I said I'm getting frustrated about not seeing enough personality. You bring up a good point. Like we are seeing more and more,
More.
but I want to see more.
And like some protective instincts of the
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the baby Yoda. We were definitely. I was kind of right about it's gonna be him accompanying a child.
Yeah, a gifted child. I mean, it's maybe a little bit more intelligent, but
Yeah, I think, and I've got a big prediction coming up.
Okay, we'll
that
save that.
I'll say, yeah, the mini Yoda has unique and valuable abilities. Composer is a big fan of the Rocky franchise. I don't know what's going on, but as a big Rocky fan, it's like ripped from the Rocky franchise.
Rocky meets Star Wars.
It's like more Rocky than Star Wars.
we're gonna get the
It sounds like he's training the
Mandalorian
entire
running
time.
up some stairs.
Yeah, like it's what it sounded like. It's like dun 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 dun. So that was kind of strange, really strange. We're gonna look into it because I feel like this guy did Creed. I think he did Creed. It was nice to see the objective of the episode was just getting a ship to work. You know, instead of you said you wanted to on a smaller scale.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, he gets pretty much every piece of screen time.
Yeah, he does, yeah. I think that's the point. I
And
think that's
it's
what
that
we're
small
going
scale, sort of one planet, trying to get one objective fulfilled before he moves on to the next thing. And I like that.
for. I didn't like how quickly they put the ship back together.
Oh yeah, just
It's
I
kinda-
can see to my next point. John Favreau has a bit of a fetish for welding / hammer bagging scenes
I wonder where we saw that from.
in caves.
It's like overnight it happened.
Yeah, by dawn he's off again.
Yeah.
So that was a bit.
I
A
didn't
bit
I didn't enjoy how he seems so careless with the baby pod. He
Yeah.
just kind of leaves it or just pushes it.
Out of like, he seemed like he was a very in control of his emotions kind of guy. Yet they like ransack his ship and then he just leaves the Yoda
Yeah.
behind.
And
he's
it's
just-
like trotting behind.
it's like anyone
slowly.
could have taken it. He's
Exactly.
clearly wanted.
Like the episode starts where he's marked. He gets jumped by 3 other bounty hunters.
all looking for the same thing.
Exactly, and he's just gonna leave it.
Yeah, so that was dumb. I think the CGI and like the characterization of the little Yoda is pretty good
Yeah, I like
for
Baby
a TV
Yoda.
show. And I also have the cinematography is paying homage to the franchise really nicely. Like,
Yeah, we saw the sunset
yeah,
shot there.
classic sunset with the mirage. I thought the Jawas were kind of dumb. Like the humor is not good.
Yeah,
in this
I
so
mean,
far.
there's not much. What can you do with Jawas, right? They're
Yeah.
pretty-
Like when he bangs his head and they're like, Yeah, I could have done with less of that.
I have that this Baby Yoda kind of has like a Baby Groot vibe.
Yeah,
I think
they're just getting ready for the toys.
exactly the little plush Baby Yoda showing up in your stockings this year.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy more, episode 1 or episode 2?
Episode 2, I did like more, even though it was shorter,
Mm-hmm.
because I thought episode 1 was just kind of boring.
Yeah, well, I think we're starting to settle in.
Yeah.
I think like any show, I bet you around episode 5, episode 6, we're gonna be all over this.
Yeah. I just feel like it's off to a bit of a rocky start, but it's okay. It's decent.
Yeah, you mentioned something after the first episode about how he feels kind of rigid.
Yeah.
That's all I can see now. I just see this like Batman syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, can't really, no pulsable joints.
Yeah, and I my kind of prediction going on is where I think this is going to go is I think the next episode is going to be about him. They're just going to do it episode by episode. So now that he's got it, he's going to be figuring out exactly where to deliver it. There's going to be an obstacle in his way, and he's going to get past it. But then I think that he's going to grow a slight attachment to this creature, and whoever he's delivering it to, they have nefarious intentions, and then it's going to be this moral dilemma of, do I pass this innocent thing off? They're going to use it for bad, and we got a little flashback in the first episode of him as a kid being in some raid,
some sort of war.
Or war.
Looks like his parents died.
So then I think it's going to tie into that, and then he's going to have a big blaster fight.
What's he going to do?
He's coming with me. That's my impression so far.
That's a good one.
I'm finding it hard to shake like a Django Fett whenever I do this guy. But then I think he's gonna be like on the run, just like against himself, running from like, you got the street thugs after you.
Okay. And when does he get on the run? Halfway through the season?
I think like not this. Episode 4.
Episode 4, yeah, I can see episode 4. He goes to see Werner Herzog and changes his mind and blasts his way out of there. Yeah. Now he's got stormtroopers in pursuit. That'd be nice.
This can't just be like another generic kind of adventure that I feel like we've seen a billion times. Like they need to have like an X factor in there that makes this stand out and worth sticking with for like 2-3 seasons. And I don't see it right now. With these kind of TV shows, I feel like you need really good like themes and like good drama and just character development.
It's very monotone right now.
It's very monotone, and it's more just about like set pieces.
Exactly.
And
I want to see like the Mandalorian. I want him to like yell and scream, and truly be in danger. Like we saw, he was in danger at that final fight scene, but he just kind of bows his head. Maybe that's a part of his culture, but I want to see.
Yeah, he was just ready to. He just held out his little pocket knife.
I want to see that magically killed the thing in one stab.
Barely made it through his flesh. That was super dumb. It's like the dumb traps they're falling into seem like really avoidable. It's like, oh, why don't we just give him like more of a machete? That's
exactly. Or why don't you take his gun and use that rifle to like kind of like spear through or something?
Just easy things that would make it feel more realistic.
It honestly feels like a bit rushed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure they had so much time. Star Wars cameos, any major characters? We kind of got a Yoda type thing.
Yeah, like do you think he's related to Yoda at all? I think he's like a Yoda son, this situation. Star Wars loves sons.
I don't think it's Yoda's son. I think we need to go back. Like, doesn't Yoda say he's like the last of his kind or something?
Oh, maybe that's why he's so valuable, this little guy.
Yeah.
'Cause he's like the last.
Oh, also, he's Force sensitive, or is he a Jedi or Force sensitive?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, the Yoda thing. I think it's quite powerful with the Force.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's Jedi.
So
do you think like the reason the person wants this is because he like it's just like a rare collector's item? Do you think it's kind of as small as that, or do you think it's like this thing has the potential for a lot of power?
Exactly, it poses a threat to the rebellion, or no, the Empire. Yeah, to start a rebellion. But also, I just remember this was in the first episode. The scientist guy says he needs it alive, and I think it's because they want to like.
But like he did say it could be dead.
But that was Werner Herzog. The scientist guy was like, no, we agreed alive, so I think they're going to turn him to the dark, try and coach him to the dark side. But there is no
Empire at this point, right? There's
it's
been torn down.
Snoke is somewhere in the background.
Okay, so yeah, this is I'd imagine the universe is in an era of political like rebirth because there's no like power.
There's no power, yeah.
I don't know really what happened to the.
So I think they want him alive, preferably.
Because he's like a valuable asset for a new political...
For a new Sith Lord. You don't like that, eh?
We all know this is like funneling somewhere into Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
And nothing's really... There's been no... So it all feels inconsequential at the moment.
Maybe like it gets disfigured and that thing is Snoke.
Oh. The Yoda thing?
I could be down for that.
No, because that's like 30 years after. He's
Yeah.
50 and he's still a baby. Old man in 30 years. Debunked.
So right now, nothing amazing. It's probably sitting at like a 7-ish.
Yeah, I was going to say like a 6.5.
6.57, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely be here for November 22nd for episode 3.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll stack 3 and 4 together.
I was thinking maybe we could do that. We could maybe not watch the next like 3 or 4 and then just
crush them together.
just give our thoughts as we go through the series.
Yeah, we could do like a post show maybe.
Yeah. So I think we'll continue to watch these Mandalorian episodes,
Yep.
and then we'll also be back in a few weeks for Knives Out
Yeah, we're gonna get back on the movie train. So Knives Out comes out late November. So.
with Rian Johnson, my favorite director.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna keep this Star Wars train rolling.
Yeah.
Right?
Everything's connected to Star Wars in like one thread.
So The Mandalorian, if you haven't yet, check it out.
Yeah, like if you're someone who's on the fence of getting Disney Plus, I wouldn't say this is like the reason to get it.
No, definitely not.
It's like if you're gonna get Disney Plus, this is like a cool thing to watch.
Which actually kind of raises the question, because am I gonna go home and buy Disney Plus?
No.
I don't think I am. I think I'm just gonna come here and mooch it off.
100%. Yeah, you got the mics, you got this. Why keep it going?
Exactly. So, thanks for tuning in as always.
Yeah.
I'm Omen Drillhell.
I'm Anthony Packer,
And
we
this
hope-
is. Sorry.
I was-
Try it again.
I was gonna say, we hope you enjoyed this so far. If you're listening on Spotify, subscribe to the podcast and let us know if there's any other movies that we haven't seen.
Movies, TV shows, maybe.
Yeah, and we'll just keep going. I'm really excited about this.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
I've spoken.